Oh, snap. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, I'm live every single night. We talk about all kinds of cases. We watch videos from all kinds of people. Everybody. The world's crazy, y'all. So unfortunately, we have a lot to talk about, especially Micah Francis, y'all. Micah Miller. Holy mackerel. I was just telling TikTok, because we've been live on TikTok for a few minutes now. It's like every time we think we have something figured out, or we think we're about to have something figured out, it all gets flipped upside down. It's crazy. So YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're getting close to 15,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is crazy. Ah! I hate when I do that. I'm going to do that all night too, y'all. Little echo there for a second. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's been like a month and a half, y'all. 2 months now, something like that. Almost 15,000 subscribers. 241,000 followers on TikTok. Insane. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I seriously didn't think anybody would care to watch me or listen to me or anything. I thought people, no. So it means a lot to me that you guys support the show as much as you guys do. Thank you so much. So hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. TikTok, do the same thing. Hit the follow button. Tap the screen like crazy. All right, let's jump into this. Let's jump into these videos. Make sure you go show love to everybody that we're watching, y'all. All of the creators and all the content is linked in the description on the YouTube video. So TikTok, The Mystery Project on YouTube. You can find everybody. You can find everybody. All right, without any further ado, I'm shrinking myself down. We're going crazy. Here it is. Shout out to Flo on TikTok. I guess he's doing like a 2-hour interview with JP, or he did one and he's posting it. So let's jump into that. This is a teaser for that. But make sure you go follow Flo on TikTok. Good dude, really good dude. All right, let's go.
Got some Micah Miller updates for you. So the other day I got a message from JP's peoples asking would I interview him. I was like, this can't be real. As a matter of fact, y'all, I'm on my way to Tampa. So if you're in Tampa, I'm gonna be in Tampa. Hit me up. I want to meet some of my Tampa followers. But anyway, I said either this is not JP, or even if it is JP, if they agree, they're gonna back out, because ain't no way they want me to do the interview. But it was real, and JP agreed to answer all my questions. No, I didn't send him no questions ahead of time, nothing, straight off the cuff. And it was actually a good interview. I'm gonna put some of the questions I asked them up there, but it was a lot of new information that I got. I asked him why he was so eager to get into the apartment, in Micah's apartment, after she passed. I asked him, does he have a life insurance policy on Micah? And if so, did he collect the money? I even asked him about him being in Charleston, about any proof or who he was with. And you're gonna be shocked about that answer. I didn't hold nothing back. It was straightforward. It was respect, and I didn't leave no stone unturned. And if I did, y'all can always put it in the comments. But it will be airing on my first episode of my podcast, the I Don't Like It podcast, dropping this weekend. So if you want to see the interview, it's gonna be for my subscribers, but it's gonna be more than just that. I'm giving a lot. I'm not even gonna go too far, but JP even got emotional a little bit in this. I ain't gonna say a little bit. He got a little emotional in this interview. Any questions, leave them in the comments, y'all. Just to update, the guy that was putting water and spraying people with water, the old guy, he was reported to be in his 80s. Yep, Chicken Club. He was reported to be in his 80s, and we found out he actually in his 60s. I think 61 or 62. Wanted to update y'all on that. Also, I know it was barricades and stuff at Solid Rock Church this past Sunday. And I asked around, nothing really major happened. If it did, leave it in the comments, but it's not for me to report. But if y'all shocked that Oh, and the interview for JP, let me get back to that. It's a 2-hour interview. I asked him everything, and he answered everything. Justice for Micah.
Damn. We got to hear this interview, y'all. Where's this interview at? Flo! Where you at? Where you at, man? Holy hell, we're going to find that one. We're going to find that one. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. TikTok, hit the follow button. Let's keep it going.
Hey guys, covering the case of Micah today, piggybacking on my last video of John Paul Miller discussing the Dare to Care mission trip to build schools in Africa, all in the memory of Micah. Well, there is lots of questions surrounding this project because word is floating around that the pastor in Africa has not received a dime of it. Here is John Paul Miller's latest video.
You know, with everything going on and people hurting, I guess is a good word, or abusing those that stand up for what my wife loved so much, her mission, her church. You know, we were going to have to tell children no, that we can't feed all of them that were coming in to Gibraltar, to where our school is. But people are stepping up. And so if you'd like to sponsor a child, it's $300 a child. That covers their food, their curriculum. It covers them having clothes, a shirt for the year. And we're sending a team in a few weeks to train some teachers. School starts in August. And if you would like to go, we would love for you to go. If you'd like to go check it out and spend a week, most of these children are orphans. A lot of them are HIV positive.
Huh? I'm sorry, but I think the last thing of overwhelming majority of us would want to do is go overseas with everything that's happening, with anything to do with yeah. What? I mean, whoa, that's crazy. And I keep saying it, but where was this back then? Where was this then? You know, instead of coming out, and I keep saying it. Actually, you know what, y'all? Micah's dad actually commented on the video where I was talking about it, y'all. It's on YouTube. When I was talking about how, like, where was this energy then? Like it just feels like you're not that guy anymore. Like, you're just not. You're just not going to garner sympathy and support, and especially dollar bills from people right now. I mean, I don't see it happening. I don't see it ever happening again, you know? And he's not charged with anything, y'all. He's innocent. As of right now, this man is completely innocent. He didn't do anything right now that we know about. Nothing. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter at this point. You got enough people. Well, not even enough people. You got literally the entire internet just absolutely despises you. Like, so many. I mean, like, so many. Tens of millions. Hundreds. I mean, a lot. What do you, huh? And you're just all of a sudden gonna be like, oh, by the way, we need money for children in Africa, even though we never sent any money to children in Africa, allegedly. I don't know. That's what I heard, y'all. We're gonna be talking about that too. Where do these donations went? Where are they? I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe they are there. I don't know. We don't know. We're not these people. We have no clue. But you know what we can do? Sit here and talk about it. We can sit here and talk about it, can't we? But isn't that crazy? That's crazy to me. Like, absolutely insane to just be like, total shift gear. Because it was like, remember these videos were coming out and he's like, oh, this and that, and her family is doing it. Now it's just like, hey, we need $300 a kid starting in August. Oh. Huh? Sweet baby Jesus. This man is living on another level. Wow. Okay, I'm done with my rant. I got my rant out. Let's keep going. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. Let's get 100 likes. TikTok, hit the follow button. Tap the screen like crazy. My name's Patrick. If you're new here, welcome. I do true crime live streams every night. We react to different videos. We talk about things that are going on in the true crime world. So take a second, hit the follow button. Tap the screen, though, TikTok. Let's get 25,000 likes. Hit me with those bears, too. We got halfway. We're halfway there. Let's keep going.
But they are so excited to have us there. I mean, they love every single minute of it. You know, it'll be a life-changing event for you. But if you'd like to go, it's about $3,000 a person. That covers your flights, your room, your board, your hotel, your food, all that kind of stuff. But during the day when you're at school, it's not like America, so be ready. I also want to thank the churches that are stepping up. Dominion TV Network and a lot of other churches in the area who are helping to pay for Robert's defense fund for putting water in the face of someone who took a shower that day and lives at the ocean, at the beach, and probably has a pool in their neighborhood. But anyway, and so I want to thank all the Christians that are stepping up. And
Bro, the difference is if somebody throws water in your face versus you get into a pool yourself, or you go to the ocean yourself, or you do something like that. You go down a damn slip and slide yourself. See the difference? The difference is if I throw water in your face or if I spray water in your face and you didn't want to, as an adult, that's called assault. You should know better. You don't do that to people. But he's acting like it's no big deal. That is crazy. Holy hell. See, that makes me wonder about like what else he just think he can like justify to himself. Like, yeah, it's water. Yeah, okay, maybe they get a little eye irritation. Maybe it was no big deal. But still, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Go to Taco Bell, order a cup of water. When they hand it to you, take the lid off and throw it in their face. Just splash them right in the face. See what happens. See how long it takes for the sheriff's department to show up and say, hey, that's assault. And he said that person took a shower. I'm assuming they took a shower on their own volition. I'm assuming they wanted to be clean. Nobody forced them into the shower. Nobody forced the shower on them. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know these people. I don't know. Let's continue.
Realizing what's going on. So thank you guys so much, and God bless you. Have a good day.
So at the end of that video, he is so petty. He loves to always give us a slice of what poor Micah had to deal with. But this is the ministry that is helping support Elder Robert's defense fund. Just wanted to paint that little picture for you. But anyways.
That's a crazy looking bunch of people right there too. You know that lady right there in the middle with the short hair and the glasses, she wants to talk to the manager, y'all. You know that. She wants to talk to the manager. And the other one, the bottom left over there, it looks like Penn and Teller, but like not. I guess it just looks like the one guy. This is crazy as hell. All right, let's keep going.
Just wanted to paint that little picture for you. But anyways, this is straight from Rob Harvey's Facebook account about the Africa Mission funds. He says, John Paul Miller reached out to me and disputes the accusations that Solid Rock Church has not given Pastor, I don't know if it's Jumba or Humba in Africa, whatever pronunciation that is, don't want to do it wrong. According to JP, they've given more than double than what comes in. Now, this is the interesting part because John Paul Miller asked if he'd be willing to talk to Pastor Randall, who's in charge, or Pastor Humba, and I told JP to give Pastor Humba my number as I'm not interested in speaking with Randall. JP then backtracked and said no. He said I must go through Randall to talk to Humba. I refused. He said
What the hell? You crazy as hell. Mama Jewett, thank you for the Rumble rant. You are the best. No, y'all are the best. Give yourselves a round of applause. Y'all are the best. I'm not even better than most.
He asked for Pastor Humba's direct information and how to give directly to his ministry, and JP refused to give up that information. Rob Harvey also says he reached back out to his sources. One source told me they spoke with Humba minutes ago and reconfirmed he has not seen a dime from Solid Rock Church. He does believe Pastor Randall's church donates directly to Africa and Humba, but now is there money being exchanged between Solid Rock and Randall's church to help support the missions? It's pretty obvious Mr. Harvey can get the pastors in Africa's contact info himself, but that's not the point here. The point here is that John Paul Miller would not give up the information, even with donation money on the line. He simply refused. You can only go through another pastor that links directly to Solid Rock Church. Very interesting. And what would be even more interesting is if John Paul Miller changes his mind about offering up the information for the good of the kids. We will see.
Man, that's crazy as hell.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Shane. For those who are new, welcome back if you're returning. Let's start off today's video by saying that I am not a true crime expert. I am simply a true crime fan, so take everything I say as an allegation, speculation, or opinion unless proven otherwise in the court of law. I don't want to be sued. I will also start this video off by saying I'm not going to refer to Micah as Micah Miller anymore, and I'm going to respect her wishes as provided in the divorce as wanting to take back her maiden name as Francis. So from now on, if I do refer to Micah with a last name, it will be Micah Francis. If you watched my last video, we talked briefly about the protests that were taking place at Solid Rock Church. I believe they're still going on every Sunday, so even this weekend we may have an update. It looks like the pastor might be taking some steps in order to try to possibly dissuade the protests from happening. You can put as many fences as you want. People are still going to show up. I don't know. It just doesn't.
Yeah, that's crazy as hell. You know what we should do? Put up fences.
It just doesn't sit very well with me that he's going this far. Now, in the protest last week, when JP Miller came outside,
You know what, y'all? I figured it out. The barricades, they're not there to keep people out. They're there to keep what little people are in there still in there. Because they losing the congregation, you know? I see what I did there. That's a joke. Totally kidding. Obviously, it's there for the protesters, but give me a break.
and turned on the sprinklers. There was another church member by the name of Richard Lochel. Richard decided to take it upon himself and take the sprinkler and decide to spray some of the protesters, directly soaking them. We talked about the potential of now these protesters filing assault charges toward Richard. So I did find a news article that reads, "Court date set for man seen spraying Solid Rock protesters." A Murals and Let man facing multiple assault charges after police said admitted to using a sprinkler to douse protesters outside Solid Rock Church last week will be in Myrtle Beach Municipal Court next month. Regardless of everything else going on, now I just want to check in next month into this court case or this trial and see what happens. Robert Wayne Lochel, 67, was captured on a cell phone video aiming a pressurized sprinkler at several people who gathered in front of Solid Rock on June 30th to raise awareness about DV following the April 27th death of Micah Francis. I know in the article it says Miller, but again, her husband, John Paul, is founder and senior pastor of the 803 Howard Avenue Church. Lochel reportedly told officers he turned the sprinkler on to the group after his wife said that she was being frustrated by their presence. The protesters have appeared in front of John Paul Miller's church every week since Micah Francis' death at Lumber River State Park in Robeson County, I apologize. Quote, "I think it is important that he face charges for his actions because nobody is responsible for what they did that day but him," a woman named Sharon told reporters on Monday, and blaming his action on a woman for his acts of aggressions is the very thing that we are out there protesting against. Lochel turned him into Myrtle Beach police hours ahead of his initial appearance in front of Judge Glenn V. Ohanneson? He's charged with 5 counts of third-degree assault. The judge issued a conditional bond ahead of Lochel's August 14th date I gotta write that down. Allowing him to continue attending services a solid rock. He ordered them not to initiate contact with victims through social media. They're just trying to disrupt church services. They're trying to scare people away by screaming and yelling at them every day, Long told News 13 on Monday. Continuing to say they can make their point about justice for Micah anywhere in the world. They don't have to stand at the corner of a church.
Yeah, but they can do whatever the hell they want. That's the beautiful thing about living here. Do it peacefully. You got a right to assemble. You have a right to peacefully protest. And somebody's asking what Micah's dad, Michael, had said to me. So, boom, there it is. Michael Francis, he says, you're just not the guy anymore. Mic drop. And I was like, yes, sir. I said, amen. Thanks for the comment. And so many thoughts and prayers for you and the whole family. Because I was talking about him. Because he's out here saying, oh, you should send us money for this. And, oh, do you want to come with us? Send us add another zero to what we need for the kids. And you can come along as well. Stop. My God, that is crazy. I just said, you're not that guy anymore. Because just so we're clear, everybody knows, right? Right now, he did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. He is not guilty of anything. Maybe being a douche bag. Can I say that? I don't know if I can say those words. I'm just kidding. TikTok. I know they get mad as hell when you hear certain words. Maybe being an unlikable person. Maybe he's an very unlikable person, but that's not illegal. It's not illegal. But just, I mean, at a certain point, you have to go, yeah, I shouldn't do this stuff anymore. I just shouldn't do it. And that's what I was saying in that video. And he said, you're just not that guy anymore. Boom. So shout out, Michael. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it. Anytime you want to come on the show, anytime you want to come on a live stream, you just let me know. You and anybody else. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys. This is absolutely horrible what your family had to go through and is going through. If you ever need anything, you let me know. You let any of us know. Anything. Put some hearts in the chat, y'all. Purple hearts. Let's go.
Not just a church. I hate that he said a church. What do you mean? We're not standing outside of Notre Dame protesting for Micah. Lochel faces fines of $1,087 for each of the charges. Mind you, there's 5 of them. I'd give just about anything to be at that court. The opportunity to be at that court date on August 14th. Oh my gosh, to be a fly on the wall. And then it goes on to say this is a developing story. So we're not going to know at least until August when he's going to have his trial and where he faces 5 counts of 3rd-degree assault charges. Maybe $7,000. Oh, was it worth it? So I just wanted to touch.
Nope, that's an I said that was an expensive water bill. And I called him I said this guy got caught wet-handed.
Briefly.
Wet-handed. That's a good one, y'all. I titled the video about that. This guy got caught wet-handed.
Regarding Richard and what happened with that, because I was really curious if I believe JP Miller was able to talk to law enforcement and get him not arrested right then and there. It all.
We remember that. By the way, TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, tap the screen like crazy. We got 25,000 likes. Let's get to 50,000. Hey, Carol, thank you. And if you guys want to watch the video, come on over to YouTube. We've got about 400 people watching on TikTok. The YouTube channel is The Mystery Project. We're live right now on YouTube as well and Rumble. So if you guys want to watch the video along with us, come on over. Come on over. Search the YouTube channel up. You can find it. Nurse KK, thank you. Y'all are sweet. All right, let's keep going.
Already seems that JP has he has some sort of community ties, I believe, over there where he can kind of talk his way out of getting into trouble. So I found a couple of TikToks regarding JP Miller's father. Now I know there was something, I believe he started like a school in Pakistan. I'm not going to say a whole lot, to be honest. I'm learning with you today as we go. I'm going to be doing some more deep diving into him after today's video, but I want to listen to this and kind of develop my own questions. So when I do my own research, I kind of know where to.
There you go. Hectic Lovin'. Long time no see. Good to see you. Thank you.
Begin diving into this story. So with that being said, let's get started. There's a lady on TikTok I recommend checking out. I think she uploads like daily quick true crime clips. She goes by the username True Crime with Megan. She'll be linked down below as usual. But
True Crime with Megan. Yeah, there you go. Branching out, baby girl. She's probably in here right now. Good to see you getting some attention.
she does at least 2 TikToks talking about Reginald Wayne Miller, JP's father. So we're just going to let her talk. Okay, I guess we're going to do it with one sleeve now.
Okay, y'all, so let's talk a little bit about John Paul Miller's father's criminal history. His name is Reginald Reggie Wayne Miller. As many of you may already know, he sent an email to Daily Mail today or yesterday regarding some questions they had for him about all these allegations and Micah's death. And I shared a video earlier about the statements he made about Micah. Now I want to share some of his past run-ins with the law and some charges that he had, as well as his comments about them. And you got to wait till the end and listen to what he said. Now, he admitted in the email that he was charged with labor fraud, visa fraud, and failure to pay minimum wage in 2014. This was during a case where he was accused of turning his Cathedral Bible College into a forced work camp. Students from overseas told investigators that the classes they were taught were a sham and that Reginald forced them to work at the college or his home for very little pay. They also said that if they refused to work, he would threaten them to have them deported. He ended up serving 15 months in prison after.
What the hell were they doing? Like, what kind of work were they doing? That's what I want to know. My God.
He was arrested and he was released after his sentencing as part of a plea deal. And in that case, they saw his time served as punishment. He was also banned from owning any firearms and given home detention for a year. And he had to do 500 hours of community service. Also, he had to pay $75,000 of restitution to his victim and was then given supervised release for 3 years. Now, he admitted in the Daily Mail email, this is what he said. In 2014, I had signed 2 student visas. They knew English because I had been led to believe they did. When they got here, they did not know English. I was supposed to have reported them, but did not, giving them English lessons instead. He said, I therefore committed visa fraud by not reporting them and pled guilty to that. Now listen to this next comment. The only reason I was in prison leading up to that pleading is that I had no money for bail because I have never maintained a balance greater than a couple of thousand since all my life has been giving to helping others.
What the? All my life has been given to helping others. Don't mind these Pakistani children building things for me that I'm paying pennies on the dollar for. I'm giving to people. Bro, you are crazy as hell. That's crazy.
Y'all like father, like son, right? Justifying his actions and making it all about him and how great of a person he is. You got to be kidding. He said the other 2 charges were regarding 2 students who had worked over the 20-hour requirement of how much they could work, and that he had considered some of their hours to be training. Now, that's not all. In 2006, he was charged with...
Never mind. They're not building things. I'm training them on how to build these things. Meh. Crazy as hell.
lewdness and prostitution, dropped the F and out of P in South Carolina. Reportedly, he exposed himself to an undercover male police officer. This was in a bathhouse at Myrtle Beach State Park. The charge was ultimately dropped.
Damn, the officer was undercover, but old Reggie wasn't.
Because he participated in a
That's terrible.
pre-trial intervention program. Furthermore, he had allegations that he made sexual advances towards 2 men whose wives were students at the Bible college. Also, anonymous
Krista, that's why this channel is not monetized at all. So, have a good life. Take care. Goodbye. No one cares about you. Goodbye. See you.
students accused him of making inappropriate advances towards them. So yeah, this family is far from perfect, and John Paul and his father Reginald seem to be a lot alike. JP has a good history with the law as well, run-ins with the law. Surprised I haven't shared that yet. I'll do a video about that tomorrow, about all of his past history with traffic offenses and other things. Not just traffic, there's a lot of things. This case is just getting crazier and crazier by the minute, and my heart still hurts greatly for her family and friends.
I'll definitely have to look into the videos she's alluding to about looking into JP's criminal history. I haven't looked that deep yet. I started seeing comments come up about Wayne and his sketchy past and all this stuff about maybe like overseas fraud. Based off of the just 2-minute video I watched, yeah, there's a lot to uncover. So we're definitely going to have some videos following just talking about Wayne and Barack also going to dive into JP's criminal history as well. Also, I'm curious, where's JP's mom? What does she have to say about these homosexual allegations? Because the people that was mentioned that Wayne was trying to coerce were men. So did that play any part? Again, was the mother involved at all? These are questions, again, I can start diving into in another video. However, she does cover one more TikTok where JP himself speaks, so I'm going to let that play.
Okay, guys, so John Paul Miller has just shared a new video, and this video is discussing.
She's like, he's done it again. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button if you're new here. Hit the subscribe button. My name's Patrick. Let's get 200 likes. TikTok, hit the follow button, tap the screen like crazy. Whiskey, thank you for the head hearts, y'all. You don't have to do that, but it is appreciated. Thanks for supporting the show. Because keep in mind, TikTok, the channel is not monetized. I saw some lady complaining about that. Nope.
The Dare to Care African mission trip that Micah was all about. He's just discussing how they started it and how he's going to continue it in honor of Micah, because that's what she would have wanted. He's talking a little bit about the prices and the money and the teacher training and all. So I'm going to attach it. And again, True Crime Marie shared this video, so I wanted to give her credit.
Okay, I watched that first part. I saved the video for you guys because I want to react.
I saw somebody say they started calling that true crime J Re. J instead of JP, it said true crime J Re. That was funny. Did people has anything happened with that? Has anybody been able to prove that? They found out that picture was like a stock image and all kinds of stuff. Man, it was crazy as hell.
Okay, so this is after all this stuff is happening. He's trying to now, I believe JP is just trying to show remorse now. I haven't seen JP's TikToks. Well, clearly he's making videos and posting them somewhere. So if somebody has any leads on that, I would love to see. But yeah, let's just see what he has to say.
Hey y'all, I was just sitting here looking at some pictures and videos, of course, of my wife, and
I couldn't even make, are you joking? Feel bad for me. I couldn't even. I hate when people are addressing something and it always starts off with this like victim mentality. I was just here pulling out the photo album, reminiscing about my poor wife, even though I got up on the stage the morning after she unalived herself and announced to everybody, oh, by the way, I had her funeral planned. Oh, by the way, did he even, the way that I'm looking at the timeline, she passed on a Saturday. He got up in front of the church on that Sunday. We just covered that sermon in my last video. If you want to go check it out, I will also link it down below. And then he already announces her funeral. But he was caught out having drinks at that sushi bar with Susie Skinner. He really did that before the funeral even happened. I can neither confirm nor deny that at this very moment, but I believe, based off of what we know of the timeline, yeah.
Something smells fishy. Oh, I'm on fire with that. Come on. He went to a sushi restaurant. Holy hell.
hey y'all, I was just sitting here looking at some pictures and videos, of course, of my wife, and couldn't help but come across all the ones that have to do with the mission trips that we went on. I'm not a missionary. I don't like mission trips. I'm a teacher. I like to stay home.
I don't know if I can even get through this. You just said, listen to what he just said again.
I'm not a missionary. I don't like mission trips.
Okay, the way that he said that at first sounded like, look, I was looking at all the mission trips that we went on, talking about him and Micah. But then he goes on to say how much he doesn't like mission trips.
I don't like mission trips.
If he just slipped up there, again, trying to make it like, oh, look at all the stuff we do together. But then, oh yeah, I don't like doing that at all. Or if he's kind of referring to like the we is like Micah and the church. 2 seconds in, I already...
I like to stay home and teach, but she loved the mission trips, and especially when she went to Africa last year. When she came back, I picked her up at the airport, and she was overwhelmed with joy. And she came back, she said she wanted to start a school, a Faith First Academy in Africa. And I said, Micah, you can't do that. I said, that's not possible. We don't have the money. We don't have the resources. We don't have the teachers, the curriculum, the location, the place. We don't have it all. Well, that was kind of a challenge for her. And so for the next month, and the way when you communicate with Africa, they're in a completely different time, of course. And so when you send them a message, you don't get a response to the next day, and then you send it, and then the next day. And about a month later, she brought me a notebook. She had the teachers, the location. She even had the lunch lady, someone who was going to bring these children food. And she brought me everything we needed. And she got it down to about $500 a child per year. And then I'm the good guy that's good with financial stuff. And so I was able to get it down to $300 for a year for a child to go to school there. And that includes the food that they get each day. And so
it just seems like there's always this pattern with these pastors. I mentioned with Jesse Duplantis, I mentioned it with Kenneth Copeland, now J.P. Miller, even his father, Wayne Miller, what he had to pay $75,000 towards something. Like, all these pastors seem to just always have money. Even J.P. himself is now saying,
I'm the good guy that's good with financial stuff.
I'm always picking up on that subtle detail that these pastors always seem to have a little bit of money, or are always alluding to it.
We sent a team at the beginning of this year, and we were expecting about 75, maybe 80 kids. The first day we had 150. By the end of the week, we had
There's KK, thank you.
300. And now we have about 350 children begging and pleading for us to start our school.
I just still can't understand the gear shift from like, oh, I have all this proof and the Francis family is lying and this and that and all blah, 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 to just, hey, look over here. We've got all these kids that need food, and we've got a lunch lady, and it was $500, and I got it down to $300. Like, why the shift all of a sudden? It honestly feels like just like, oh shit, don't look here. Look over here. Okay.
Back in August of this year. And so in honor of Micah, we're doing it. It's her mission. She came up with it. She started it. She did all the work. She prepared the way. She laid the foundation. And so we are sending a team, and we're praying to God that we have enough of what we need to be able to feed the 300 and something kids, curriculum provided, teachers trained, and everything. And we're really, really excited. So that's something we have to look forward to. We'll send you pictures when it comes out. And if you go to dare2caremissions.com, you'll see our website, and that's where Micah started, of course. And so if you love Micah, you got to love the people of Jabbrock, because that was her big thing that she enjoyed so much. Thanks.
I already know what you're going to say.
You know, I did not like that, especially the ending. Ew, he's using Micah for sympathy. He's like he's asking for donations toward this ministry, which he just said himself he doesn't even like to do mission trips. But now he's trying to fund this.
And he said that it wasn't even possible, that they didn't have the resources, they didn't have the time, they didn't have anything.
School that Micah did all the work and the research into opening. Yes, JP says that he helped her get the finances down quite a bit, almost by half, according to him. I find it extremely icky. Now, if this was a normal circumstance where I felt like JP was a true grieving husband and I didn't feel like he had anything to do with it, husband supporting anything his wife.
That part, that's what I kept saying. Why, why, when you announced that during that sermon, why not go, this happened last night. Y'all, we need to make her dream of this mission to Africa a reality. Now's the time, in lieu of flowers, because I know they like to say that, donations to this mission during that sermon. Why the change? I will never understand it. But I keep saying it. In my opinion, it seems like you're just not that guy anymore. Nobody is going to be like, oh, even it. And that's the worst part, because right now he's innocent, right? Did nothing. No, absolutely nothing. Nothing. Man, he's completely innocent. But it's like in the public eye, I mean, you're such a, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to be like, even if you're, I mean, Jesus Christ himself could come back, part the heavens, come right back down and be like, I'm only going to talk to you, JP. And people would still be like, nah, I'm good. It ain't him. It's not really Jesus. I don't believe you. So it doesn't matter. Even if you have like the best of the best, like the best of intentions, now, doesn't matter. I don't think people care anymore. And that's sad.
Started and deceased in the middle of, or was really passionate about, I think it's actually a really beautiful sentiment. However, based off of everything that we know, it's leaning more on malicious than sentimental to me. To me, he didn't have to include Micah at all. The people that are regulars at that church would very well be aware of who Micah is and what the circumstances. I just felt like throwing in that, like, do it for Micah. She started it. It's important to her, was kind of a way to pull at people's heartstrings.
That's true. That's true. Damn. All right, let's keep going, y'all. We got so many videos to watch.
Micah Miller. She was a 30-year-old preacher's wife who wanted out. In fact, filed for divorce. And then 2 days later, found dead in the woods with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. However, there was more than one spent shell casing there, including an unspent shell casing there.
Hi from Montreal, Canada. Tabernacle, Liz. Thanks for popping in. By the way, shout out to Julie. Thank you for the off the grid action. You found the links on thehauntedSide.com. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Which does seem a little bit bizarre when you're talking about, but that's what happened. There's accusations that have been flying on social media and all over the place, media outlets as well, talking about her husband, John Paul Miller, as maybe being involved in some way, shape, or form. He's not been charged with anything and vehemently denies any accusations that connect him to the death. Can't say crime because it's not been deemed that yet, but they are looking into it. Of Micah Miller. Joining me to discuss, Jennifer Coffindaffer, retired FBI special agent. This is just a weird one. We have mental illness involved. We have a very over-the-top, charismatic, and I'm going to say narcissistic type preacher involved who seems to like to put his face on anything and everything and talk about how hot his dead wife is.
Whoa.
That seems to be the main point. She's hot and that she's mentally ill over and over and over. There's lots of accusations from family members and even Micah herself, in her own words, talking about escaping abuse. What are your thoughts on this hot mess that is this case?
Well, I think she was definitely abused. And when you look at how they met, I think she was 14 years old or something. Yeah. And just the whole inception of their relationship, I think, is very questionable to begin with. He was quite her senior. And I think the whole relationship was horrible from everything I've read and seen. She was abused. There's, the scene in the gas station parking lot. There's her own writings. There's the testimony from her loved ones that said she was trying to escape. Of course, she was filing for divorce, and he clearly, was having extramarital affairs. And I thought it was most interesting recently where he came out and said, I am going to show you that somebody was involved in her death. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've seen that, Tony, but to me, now you're trying to say, oh, it could be possible that somebody else was involved in her death, but oh, by the way, it wasn't me.
He said he has 350.
Nurse KK, thank you for sending some subscriptions on TikTok. Very sweet of you. Thank you for the love. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. We need to get 200 likes. We got 200 people watching. We need to get 200 likes. Everybody hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new here. TikTok, keep tapping the screen too. Hit that follow button. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, I'm live every single night.
Oh, he needs some milk.
All right, let's keep going.
50 pieces of evidence that he's going to slowly release on social media, which just, again, seems very bizarre to do if you have evidence of someone being involved or something in the demise of your wife, that you're going to kind of make it a social media event and stay tuned. But he likes the spotlight. You can tell that. And he seems to have an answer for anything and everything that is coming his way. Which, I mean, if you're being accused
you what?
online of being involved in the death of your wife, I think you'd want to defend yourself. But I don't know that this is coming across very well if in fact he has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yeah, his answers are coming across very poor. He comes across to me, I can't believe a word out of his mouth because none of it really makes any sense. And, I wondered if we might be dealing here with somebody who was actually assisted. When I say assisted, there was a recent case where a girl, she was only 17, they ruled manslaughter. She was convicted of manslaughter because she sort of enticed her boyfriend to kill himself. That was one of the first convictions I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. I remember that when he was in the truck at like the grocery store parking lot or something. I remember that case.
Research to see if there are any more. But basically making the person feel horrible about themselves and then kind of egging them on, if you will. And I wonder if that wasn't partially what happened here. I mean, with him, John Paul, doing that to her.
No, that's what I wonder. I mean, I don't know that he was there pulling the trigger or anything of that nature, but
Kim, thank you.
It certainly seems to me from the evidence and what we've seen in a lot of these court documents that have been filed by her sister, Sierra Francis, by his ex-wife. There's a lot of accusations of abuse. There's accusations of prostitutes. There's accusations of him admitting and being involved with underage
ladies of the night
women. A lot of really abhorrent behavior. And even
man, you gonna burn in hell for that. Whiskey, thanks for subscribing.
Email to Micah talking about apologizing for slashing her tires and posting a topless photo of her online.
Crazy as hell for that too.
It's understandable to think that if this is your spouse and they're doing these things to you, how one might at some point be driven to take their own life.
Yeah, whether law enforcement is able to prove culpability or not, that's another question. I don't even know if it was investigated because it was a suicide. In other words, did they do anything to track his phone? Did they seize his phone? Did they look at the text messages? Have they reviewed all the emails? How about hers?
No.
Nurse KK, did you do it again? Thank you so much. You were so sweet. So many subs being sent, y'all.
To see if there was any of this. I don't think they did because it seems like they ruled it was a suicide straight away. And typically when that happens, you know, they're not going to be
entertainment and educational purposes only, TikTok. Entertainment and educational purposes only. TikTok overlords. They get crazy as hell when they hear certain words. Those AI robot people going bananas.
Be able to get subpoenas or search warrant because they don't have probable cause to prove that the person was involved in the crime.
No, and there's been plenty of time now to destroy any evidence. She had in her possession her computer and devices and such. And when she was admitted to a mental health facility, he went and got them all. Gave them to a lady named Diane. Put it all over there because he wanted to keep a better eye on her, allegedly. It's scrubbed a lot of things too. So it's interesting. The control that he seems to wanted to have over her. I know he's trying to portray it as he's just the innocent man that has a mentally ill wife, and you got to kind of keep her under check because otherwise she could be a danger to herself. He's saying, you know, I was just trying to get her the medicine so she doesn't kill herself. And I was.
Lord have mercy. Spiritual Diamond. Thank you so much. Another subscribe.
Wasn't able to do that. You know, I'm just trying to objectively look at this because it's not an easy thing to be with someone who is mentally ill. It's certainly not easy to be mentally ill. But if you're the spouse of someone who is mentally ill and has delusions and such, that can be a roller coaster from hell as well. But it just doesn't feel like it's quite that. It doesn't quite seem like he's just this martyr and just this innocent individual judging by the facts that we do know of his previous behavior.
That part. Randa, howdy, man. Thank you. Y'all, 6 more hand hearts, too. Thank you for the love and the support. You guys don't have to do that, but I appreciate it.
Right. I mean, the film, have you seen the video from before this incident, well before this incident, where he is going berserk and having a complete mental breakdown?
Jennifer, I got you.
It's hard to watch. But it clearly shows to me who was really mentally ill, perhaps, and who was
Branda, thank you.
Trying to be controlling expressing and showing narcissistic type actions, and really just in such an abusive type role. In my opinion, that's what I've seen. When you really add it all up, it doesn't add up to her being mentally ill. It adds up to him being an abuser.
Yeah, well, and he's admitted to it as
Whoa, Candy Perfume Girl, thank you. Damn, you guys are amazing. Thank you for that. It looks like we need 2 more.
well, that he's had mental health problems, takes lithium and such, which is the drug that you take for bipolar. But again, it's a lot of she's mentally ill, and I had to do this. Here's one of his videos talking about answering questions online, which again, I find this all very bizarre, about why he preached the day after he found out his wife had died. Take a look.
Hey everyone, tonight we will deal with the fact that I preached the day after my wife passed and the announcement that I made. Before that, I just want to talk about the tattoo from the other night. The tattoo that had her signature, it was gotten back in January with her.
There's 10K, thanks for the keys and the sub.
She wanted a very, very thick wedding band tattooed on her wedding finger, so that when she was working out or we were on vacation when she didn't have a ring, she'd let everybody know she was still married. That is not something that someone who's being abused does. But
I want to pause.
That's not something. Why are you doing this, JP? You're doing too much. This looks like an octopus is trying to eat your face. This is too much. Why are you doing this?
That right there. That's not something that someone who's being abused does. Telling everybody right there that's if you're being abused, you're not. Actually, it's kind of a sign that you might be being abused, that your partner really wants to make sure that everyone knows you are taken. So we're going to physically alter your body to make sure that that's well known. It just doesn't add, you know?
I agree.
Y'all, my JP impersonations and everything, y'all, deserves at least 200 likes. YouTube, come on. We need 50 more. TikTok, keep tapping the screen. We hit 50,000. Thank you for spreading the word about the live streams, y'all. I appreciate the love and the support. Hit the follow button if you're new on TikTok. My name's Patrick. We're live every night, literally. Well, virtually every night. Sometimes I take a day off. And TikTok or YouTube do the same thing. Hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's keep going.
Tony, I totally agree.
It's so weird. Let's listen to more.
She wanted that tattoo, and she wanted me to get her signature, so I showed up and did it. The reason I preached the day after she passed, the night before that midnight, I had 5 people at my house telling me not to preach, and I would be crazy for doing it. I didn't listen, and it's because at first I didn't believe it. I spent the past 3.5 months doing everything I could to keep her alive. My goal was every single day to find somebody, some way to get her medicine, because I told them that she was going to commit suicide if she didn't get her lithium. And I went to her pastors, counselors, doctors, policemen, judges, friends, family, roommates, everybody you could possibly think of, and nobody believed me. So to get that call that night that it happened, I'm sure you can imagine what a failure I felt like, as well as this just can't be true. It became my worst nightmare. There's no way. And so I think maybe the family was playing a trick on me or something. The other side of it was, I thought if it is true, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to do anything. I want to just keep living my life as if it never happened, because I wasn't ready to believe that it happened. So the next day I preached like a fool. And then I made my announcement for everybody to be quiet and leave, because like a moment of silence, like you do, in respect. I did it kind of like, I don't want anybody to be talking about, suicide or mental illness or asking me questions, or I just wanted them to leave.
Entertainment and educational purposes only. TikTok overlords. They hear, sir. Oh, y'all, 2 in 30 seconds. 2 in 30 seconds. Go. 2 subscriptions. Entertainment and educational purposes only. TikTok overlords. Because I know they hear certain words, the AI people, and they get all crazy as hell.
Go talk to Jesus about it, and then talk to me at some later date. I was not prepared to deal with any of it at all, and I'm sure you cannot imagine what it's like to be trying your best to keep somebody alive, and then to find out they passed.
You think no one else knows what it's like to lose someone, lose a family member?
You what?
It's crazy as hell.
And then how do you
There's KK, you're insane. Thank you so much.
handle yourself in that next 24, 48 hours? I don't think there's a manual on that. So if it offends anybody, I apologize, but I did the best I could with what I had.
There's not a manual on it, but it sure as hell wasn't that.
Yeah, exactly. A little common sense.
You know, I always say when these people start going out and talking, we've seen it in different cases, right? You shouldn't need a manual. Look at the Petitos, the sincerity, the heartache, the pain, and many, many other parents and many other loved ones when they lose a loved one. There's nothing that seems sincere about anything he has to say. In fact, I think I read the obituary, and
it was all about him.
How dare you?
I remember that. Shout out to Marsha. Marsha, thank you for the off the grid love. Thank you for the Venmo action. Thank you so much for the support. Thanks for getting me a coffee. Julie and Marsha, thank you for the off the grid action. I got a little bit of coffee left, and that's thanks to y'all. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Let's keep going.
Part of it, he said, and leaves behind a great husband who's one of the best preachers around.
Half of the,
I thought, who writes that?
Half of the obituary is about him. I have it here in one of these documents, and
there's KK. Which one?
This is not it, but when I highlighted it the other day, it's in one of these piles here. It's halfway about him, about what a great preacher he is. Here's the obituary. Here's the highlighted parts. Those are the parts that are about him and praising him, which is so weird. And there's even like passive aggressive bragging.
Oh, Nurse KK, I got you. Yep, hit him straight with the Nurse KK. This soundbite is brought to you by Nurse KK.
Why the fuck
you lying? Why you always lying?
Oh my God.
Stop making lying. There you go.
About she loved her ice bath, nice car, sauna, house, etc. Just kind of getting that in, like, and just really showing I was giving her this great life. It's all wonderful. Everything's great here. Everything's super. Really, because she talks about abuse. She has even posted a pretty sane video with a lot more cohesive than his videos have been, right before she passed, talking about abuse and getting help for it and recognizing it.
Yeah, that part.
It's so weird. I mean, at the least, he's a narcissist that seems to be very opportunistic on the death of his wife because it gets a lot of attention towards him. At the worst, I don't know. I know there's an investigation that is continuing on in this, and I know the local authorities have asked the FBI for help. I believe, if I understand correctly, they're trying to look at some sort of interstate harassment that may have been going on, to put further resources into it. But there certainly is a lot of smoke here. I don't know, and I'm not saying he killed her by any means, but this certainly does require a little more looking into, I think.
Well, yeah, and I think financially and fiscally,
Tracy, thank you.
He could be in trouble for what might have been going on at his church.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a nonprofit, and I think that there's some investigation going on in that vein, and that's going to be very important because charges like, if they come, tax evasion, money laundering, they carry real teeth, Tony. And that's probably going to be the best opportunity if...
That's what the FBI is. The FBI is back there. How do I get you alone? YouTube! Everybody watching YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. Come on, we got 35 likes to get to 200. If you're watching and you're enjoying the show, enjoying the live stream, hit me with a little thumbs up real quick. Hit the subscribe button. TikTok, do the same thing. Thank you for the little cook things. We got 30 seconds for 2 subscribes. Man, y'all are going crazy on TikTok tonight. Thank you for the love and the support, you guys. You don't have to do any of that, but it is appreciated. Hit the follow button if you're new here. Let's continue on.
In fact, he's committed these types of crimes and violations that he actually has to pay the piper.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to continue watching. It's one of those cases where it's hard to wrap your mind around. When I first started doing interviews on it yesterday, I didn't even know where to begin because there's just so many tentacles to this thing that are weird, and it just doesn't add up. And his behavior continues. He continues to post online.
Yeah, no face tentacles.
And keep saying stay tuned so you can see more of the evidence he's got. It's freaking weird.
Well,
but we'll keep
he's
an eye on it.
becoming one of the most unliked people in the true crime community. I think we could.
Boom. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I meant by that. He's so unlikable. So just icky that him coming out asking to donate $300 or you yourself can come for $3,000 is like, huh? The f is wrong with you?
Make him the poster boy for it at this point.
I agree.
Hello and welcome.
Well, that was it. Y'all make sure you go follow everybody that's in these videos. I put a whole bunch of them in this one. So shout out to, hold on, let me get them all. Flo is the first one. I know that. Crimes and Theories. I say her name wrong every time. She says it's Shane, so I'm going to say Shane. That was Hidden Pod, because I can't say those words. This is Bethany Michael that we're listening to now. And this is a rather long one, you guys. So we're not even halfway through this live stream. So, yeah. Let's go. This is going to be a long one, y'all. TikTok, let them cook. Let's go.
Welcome back to my channel. Today we are actually going over part 10 of the Micah Miller investigation. And if you are here because of the thumbnail or the title of me going to Solid Rock Church, then just stay tuned because I'm going to be sharing the videos that I did get while there. I was only there for a few minutes, and I'll just tell you all the backstory why here in a second. But we're going to do part 10, and today we are going to review a lot of Robbie Harvey because his Facebook, it's like he has like minute per minute, hour by hour updates on the Micah Miller investigation, which is wonderful. So I continue to look at his Facebook because a lot of creators, like on TikTok, for example, that I've seen and used as a reference, they're kind of dying down from the investigation, which I'm not saying is a bad thing by any means, because this is so deep. And as I said at the very beginning, I found myself very, very invested. And for some people, it's just overwhelming, right? So a lot of creators, as I just said, have kind of like fallen off a little bit to, do normal life things, which is completely fine. But I really think it is imperative that we still continue to talk about it. So we don't have a whole lot of to update from what the FBI has been investigating. So what we do know is that the FBI is still having the Solid Rock financials and JP's financials under investigation. So that's great because, like I said at the very, very beginning, we need to follow the money. They need to follow the money because if they follow the money, they're going to find just so much, right? So
C-Bonbon, that's crazy. Did you get the wrong kind? Because there's another, the orange one is not good, but the purple one is.
As I said, we're going to watch some Robbie Harvey videos, some of his YouTube videos, and then we're also going to go back to the True Crime which we all kind of discovered in part 9. So we're going to go back to her TikTok and watch some of, the only reason why we're going to watch it because it is JP speaking about things, and it's a little unhinged and just, I don't know, man, it's weird. It's weird to hear him speak because, like I said, in part 9, it is very, well, she was super, super happy with me. But then when she went outside of me, then she became unhappy. And that's like, you understand that's a huge ass red flag, right? Like, nobody believes that. So a few things to kind of update y'all on. that we're going to watch in the videos. I know I had spoken about it in part 9, to see if my husband would like drive us to the Robeson County Sheriff's Department for that protest, but we didn't know the time, and I tried to look everywhere to see if we could find a time for it, and I couldn't find one. It just said on that given Saturday. So we just went in the middle of the day, and nobody was there, and I'll kind of put a little clip of what I got. Nobody was there, so we just turned around. But this weekend we decided to go to Myrtle Beach for the first time. It's about 2 hours away from Fort Liberty, and I realized that Solid Rock was in Myrtle Beach. So I just like tippy tapped on my GPS for shits and gigs, and it happened to be 5 minutes away. So I was like, hey, would you, because we left on a Sunday, and I was like, would you mind if we just kind of went that way? Which I always thought Solid Rock at Market Common was like the weirdest name for a church, because my brain was like, what is Market Common? What does that have to do with biblical anything? But I realized Market Common because there's a huge ass sign that says like Market Common. It's like the nice part of town, and beautiful condos, just a pretty part, but that whole section is called Market Common. So when I saw that, I was like, oh man, okay, that makes so much more sense, because the name of the church was freaking stupid. So it's Solid Rock. Okay, anywho, so my husband was like, yeah, we can definitely swing by, and I'm so thankful that it was on a Sunday that we did, because I was just gonna kind of like film the church, but he parked and he was like, get out. I was like, oh, I just wanted to film. He was like, no, you need to go talk to some people. And I'm like, aye, Captain. So he kicked me out of the car, which I'm thankful, because I'm going to be honest with you. I was a little, not intimidated by any means, but I was like, oh shit, I wasn't prepared to like speak. I wasn't prepared to interview. But once I got out, and we were leaving the hotel, so I just had no makeup on. I had a whatever shirt on, and socks to sandals, and we had a 2-hour drive. You understand? So I wasn't necessarily
Socks with sandals.
Prepared, but I'm really happy that he was like, no, you're very invested in this. You really need to talk to those people. And I was like, you're not wrong. So I got out of the car and I asked some of the protesters, I was like, hey, do you mind if I film you? And they were like, no, that's literally why we're here. But, I just wanted to be nice. So I filmed a little bit, and then I spoke to a few of the protesters. The first one that I did speak to, I didn't press record until we were kind of in the conversation. I did not film her while we were speaking. It was towards the ground. I wasn't sure how she felt, so I just put it to the ground, and I was just conversating with her. And then
and she good to see you.
I went, so you're gonna see that they have a barricade now. So there's a barricade next to the sidewalk where the church is, and then there's the road, and then there's another barricade, and the police officers were there. And it was alleged that those police officers were paid for by JP and Solid Rock, which it's not a bad thing to, pay officers if it's like a off-duty officer wanting to do like a security thing, which is not a bad thing by any means, but it's looking, I don't know, it's looking a bit biased, and it's looking, whatever. Again, everything revolves around money. If you follow the money, the police officers are getting money from Solid Rock, allegedly. So it's like, of course, they're going to be somewhat biased and protect them or whatever. So it was about 2 weeks ago, there were protesters there, and one of the men who work with JP, who goes to the church, which we're going to get into, he sprayed the protesters with a hose, with one of their sprinklers. And so out of that, whoever those people were did press charges. And as of right now, well, no, as of yesterday, because I just looked on Robbie Harvey's Facebook, and he was just arrested. He was arrested today. So, because he turned himself in. So some of the videos that we're going to see is going to explain.
Thanks, I call BS. Welcome to the family. TikTok, hit the follow, or TikTok, tap the screen like crazy. Hit the follow button if you're new here. YouTube, hit the thumbs up. We got 17 likes to get to 200, and we got almost 300 people watching. Everybody, Thumbs up right now. Hit it. It helps spread the word about the live stream. I appreciate the love, y'all. And TikTok, if you want to watch the video with us, come over to YouTube. Search The Mystery Project. That's the name of my true crime channel on YouTube and Rumble. We're live on both right now, so you can come over and actually see the video that we're watching. Come on over.
Like that a little more, but he is deep in with JP as this other woman that we'll talk about. Her name is Trisha, I do believe. She is also, I mean, super deep with JP, okay? So, as I said at the beginning, there's no, like, new update when it comes to actually Micah Miller's investigation. However, what is coming more to light, which is great, is the close-knit circle around JP and JP himself, which I believe once we get into that and, you know, find more out about that, then it's going to blossom into, it's all going to run together, right? Into Micah Miller's investigation, into Solid Rock. It's all going to come to one, I think. So, as of yesterday, he had 5 warrants out for this man's arrest, okay? Because of the...
This is the guy that sprayed the protesters with the sprinkler, y'all.
Assault of the sprinkler, which, is it technically, legally, a assault? Sure. But, come on. It was hot. Whatever. Okay. So, while I was there yesterday, I did film a little bit of the police officers walking up to the door, because you'll also hear that one of the protesters was like, it is alleged that they were going to do an arrest today, but it's not JP, it's for the other guy. It's for Waterboy, is what they were calling him. And when I was filming, they were walking up to the door because this man, I forgot his name, but this man stayed in the church until... like the very, very last second. So I was thinking that they were going inside so they could make the arrest, but that just didn't happen. It happened way after we had left. And so, so JP was there and JP's dad. His dad was also there at the church that morning. And so we'll also see that when they exited, they've been usually exiting by the protesters, but this time they all went through the back to bypass the protesters. So, like I said, there was a barricade here, the road's in the middle, and the police officers had suggested that the protesters stay on the other side for their safety. But there were some over in this side, but then the ones that are yelling justice for Micah are the ones closest to the church. But we have to remember that a church is not private property. It's all public. So that's why it's like, hey, why are... And one of the ladies that I did speak to, she was like, it seems like our rights are being taken away, and they're being a lot more biased with, you know, Solid Rock. And then because they were, you know, spraying or whatever. And so they also put a trailer right in front of the side of vision of the church. But if you take 2 steps to the right or the left, you can see everything. It was weird. Like, it's a super strange tactic. Like, strange. But that is also something you'll see. So, we have updates on that man, which we'll talk about. JP also explains the video of him on the ground from what was that, 2015, 2017, when him and his first wife were getting a divorce.
He explains that?
And him on the ground, sounding like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar. That one.
Got you.
He does give a reasoning.
Y'all, 3 likes to 200. YouTube right now, 3 people hit that like button.
Like what had happened for him to do that, which is comical because it's like, what are you doing? And he has 2 or 3 more videos of him talking, like giving explanations over different things. So we're going to watch that. I just wanted to give you like a quick synopsis of what we're going to talk about and what we're going to listen to today. And it's funny because they didn't, which we'll get into, but they didn't end up making the arrest, even though he had 5 warrants out. 5 warrants out for his arrest, the water boy. They didn't make the arrest because the officer said, he was speaking to a protester, and he said he's fragile, he's 81 years old, he has whatever. If he does not turn himself in tomorrow, which would be Monday, today, then we'll be finding him and making that arrest. That man, like the cops got duped, and I'm allegedly, in my opinion, I think they got duped by freaking JP, because they were saying he was an 81-year-old fragile man. This man is 67 years old and walks perfectly fine. So the cops got duped, and I would imagine they feel a little silly for giving into it, right? So let's go ahead and get into the very first video that we're going to watch, and it is Who is Trisha Ross? So as I said, his JP's inner circle is quite literally crumbling, and it's beautiful to watch. So let's get into Who is Trisha Ross. And I do apologize if the video, the YouTube video that we're about to watch, the audio sounds just a little off. I have found out, I've learned how to take the background music out of it so we can actually watch it, and I don't have to like pause it every 2 seconds for copyright issues. So I have to isolate the voice, and it might just kind of sound a little twingy, but bear with me. I can take the background audio out so I don't have to like speed it up or whatever. So just so you're aware.
The story of John Paul Miller and the passing of his wife Micah becomes more strange every single day. And when it's as complicated as this one, that means there's more than one.
Thank you, Michelle.
One player in the game. Introducing Trisha Ross, the right hand of John Paul Miller. If it involves John Paul and Solid Rock Church, then it involves Trisha Ross.
So you mean that I can use my debit card, or I can use my Visa, or even my MasterCard?
From who's on the worship team to contracts, and according to some sources, some of the financials of Solid Rock Church, Trisha Ross has been a part of Solid Rock for over 15 years. And many say she knows just as much as John Paul Miller.
Wow, well, woo-wee.
I'm about to myself, and I just want my family to know where to find me.
Remember, according to police, on the afternoon of April 27th, 2024, Micah Miller, the wife of Pastor John Paul Miller, took her own life in a North Carolina state park. Later that evening, John Paul Miller found out about his wife's death via a phone call from authorities.
Oh, and we're also going to watch, because Solid Rock, they actually deleted the sermon that JP gave when he told the congregation, hey, my wife herself, and it was self-induced and blah, blah, blah. So we're also going to listen to what he had preached on that morning, because nobody knew. It was like, what could you have possibly preached on the day after? Well, was the day after? Like the day after you found out that your wife had committed suicide. Like, what on earth could you have taught your congregation? And so we're also going to watch that because Robbie Harvey found it.
It's in North Carolina. Trisha Ross immediately rushed to John Paul's house. She was one of 5 people there, listening in to the phone call from authorities as they described the scene, specifically the crime scene. Now, I call it a crime scene because with every agency I've ever dealt with, if it involves a death, it's considered a crime until a proper investigation is done. But on this night, authorities from Robeson County were giving out details of that scene to complete strangers they had never met before. And according to multiple sources, Trisha Ross allegedly began talking quickly. She began giving details to other people before John Paul Miller even met with authorities.
Whoa.
Right now, we're all going to lift his arms up. And if everybody could lift your arms in support of our pastor.
Trisha Ross knows a lot. She's part of John Paul's inner circle. Take this for example. Yesterday, John Paul Miller released this.
That inner circle needs some preparation. H. So stupid. Sorry, y'all, but I've been drinking too much coffee. I'm feeling crazy today, and it's hot as hell. I guess everybody's freaking roasting right now. It's hotter than 2 rats in a wool sock on the 4th of July right now. I'm going to go turn up the AC. I'll be back in about 37 seconds. No, about 17 seconds. Y'all hang on a second. I'm going to hit play, though.
This information about March 11th.
On March 11th, remember that date because you super sleuths out there are going to need to know that date for the future. But on March 11th, something happened that kind of forever changed the course of our lives.
According to sources, John Paul Miller's private investigator was allegedly tracking Micah that day. When the investigator found Micah, he allegedly called John Paul, and John Paul did not like what he had to hear. But according to reports and messages provided to the FBI, Trisha Ross allegedly knew that the private investigator was tracking Micah also. Trisha Ross allegedly knew about the phone call that the private investigator had with John Paul Miller. And Trisha Ross allegedly knew John Paul Miller did not like what he heard, and he went into a rage. Hours after the events of March 11th, Micah Miller called police, reporting that her tires were slashed.
When she went to Africa this time, she just fell in love. That was her heart.
Despite saying such nice things about Micah in a local news interview just
I didn't see tears. Did you? I didn't.
days after her death, Trisha Ross has not always been kind to Micah's family. Back in 2023, she sent this cease and desist message to the family of Micah Miller, saying that if they don't
cease and desist text message, ma'am, that's not how that works at all.
Stop saying bad things about John Paul Miller and Solid Rock Church, they would seek financial damages. Just weeks after that message was sent, Micah left John Paul Miller to go stay with her sister in Kansas. But according to multiple sources, Trisha Ross would allegedly reach out to Micah.
Y'all, this is Bethany Michael. Michaels or Michael? I think it's Michael. Bethany Michael on YouTube. And YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. Let's get 300 likes. We're at 217. Thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. TikTok, welcome in. We got 500 people watching on TikTok. Hit the follow button if you're new here. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, we're live every single night, y'all. Literally, come on in, hang out. If you want to watch the video, search The Mystery Project on YouTube. You'll find the channel. We're live there right now as well. You can actually see the video. Thank you for the little let them cook. The channel is not monetized at all other than the live gifts. So thank you for supporting the show while I'm live. I appreciate the love. You guys don't have to do that, though. But if you'd like to, I appreciate it. Like that, C Bonbon. Thank you. So sweet. Let's continue, shall we?
Every time she left John Paul, telling her to be a good, godly wife and to return to her husband. But the cease and desist letter wasn't the only negative thing Trisha has sent the family of Micah Miller. Just days after that interview where she said all these nice things about Micah, she also sent a message to the Francis family.
Let's read this real fast. It says, hello all. Sorry to bother you. Oh my God. Okay. Hold, please. Hello, all. Sorry to bother you. I've had nothing but love for Micah and everyone. Now someone has gone to my family with accusations about pastor, and that's just not fair. You're destroying my family, and that's just not right. I've been praying for all of you. I didn't know people could be so retaliatory. Yeah, okay. I didn't know people could be so retaliatory. I know there is severe hurt and I can't make that better, but please stop. And if there is someone he has done wrong, let the authorities handle it or show the proof. All these posts and accusations and no proof is just so hard to see. I continue to pray for healed hearts.
Trisha Ross blamed the Francis family for all the problems in her life. She also said that everything John Paul Miller was accused of was false, with no proof.
Walk away.
I'll show you the pictures.
Do you want to go to jail?
They'll be on Facebook in a few hours.
Alrighty, you'll be in jail in a few hours.
But once John Paul Miller's past sins became public, with proof, Trisha Ross went on the attack, going after complete strangers from the internet.
Okay, coward. If you want to talk to me, I'll be happy to talk to you in person. So go with your threats and whatever else you need to do. But I am not fearful of anyone, and don't bring my family into anything.
So why is Trisha Ross so dedicated to John Paul Miller and Solid Rock Church? Well, many say it's because of her husband, who died of cancer several years ago. To this day, John Paul Miller and Solid Rock Church calls her husband Superman. And Trisha Ross has said that the church saved her when she lost her husband. Or is her unwavering love for the church a financial one? According to multiple sources, John Paul Miller and Solid Rock Church allegedly pay for Trisha Ross's personal bills. But as a result of standing by John Paul Miller, it seems Trisha Ross's family has severed ties with her. According to multiple Facebook posts by the family, seems Trisha Ross is not even allowed to see her grandchildren.
Well, we have a situation, folks, under her previous name, Trisha Island, and she had charges of breach of trust with fraudulent intent, value at $5,000 or more.
And it seems the burdens of Trisha Ross's life is affecting her. A few weeks ago, she sent this text message suggesting that she was going to end her life. As a result, a wellness check was requested by those who were concerned for her safety. And not long ago, Trisha Ross was seen sitting on the beach all by herself. And what's interesting about this beach, it's the same beach where Micah Miller found her tires slashed. And now there's this. According to multiple sources, the FBI is not only very interested in John Paul Miller, but they're very interested in Trisha Ross also. Considering Trisha Ross has her own criminal past for stealing money, it makes sense as to why the FBI may be looking into her.
There you go. JJ, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
But how much will they find when it comes to her involvement with John Paul Miller and the inner workings of Solid Rock?
All right. What do y'all think? I think it is a mixture of she loves JP. Man,
did they have karaoke night at Solid Rock? I saw they did a trivia night. Whoa! Did they have a karaoke night? Because you know Trisha's up there. How do I get you alone? I'm just kidding, y'all. It's a joke. It's a joke. You can joke.
Like, loves JP and is very infatuated with him, and she is just another one of JP's manipulated women, you know, just or it's just money. I think it's both. Okay, this video is entitled John Paul Miller, Text of Evil.
There's new information in a threatening text message that was sent to a potential witness in a John Paul Miller case a few weeks ago. But first, take a look at this check. As many of you know, this check was written and sent to an informant allegedly hired by John Paul Miller to dig up dirt on anyone speaking out against him and Solid Rock Church. In an alleged text message exchange between John Paul Miller and the informant, he's looking to dig up information on people like myself who is covering the story. Now, John Paul Miller will claim he was simply seeking for information so he can prepare for a defamation lawsuit. John Paul Miller believes he's being defamed in the media and on social media by people like myself. And John Paul may have a legitimate argument in the information he was seeking through the informant. If it wasn't for the next text message that I'm about to show you. I've blurred out parts of this message because the details are the darkest secrets of this woman's life. And remember, this woman is...
Oh my God. His picture is Yep, that's Spider-Man playing a piano. That is Spider-Man playing a piano.
It's a potential witness. But as you can tell, JP was allegedly looking for information in regards to her sex life. That's right, John Paul Miller is allegedly using church funds to learn more about the sex lives of women. Now back to the...
God. You what? I didn't know that.
How dare you?
Oh my God. Oh, let me put my glasses on. Does that say only Jesus? Nope.
The threatening text.
Okay, this says, hey, you seem like a genuine and nice woman, so I felt like I should warn you. Micah sent her husband a lot of texts about your past that will be coming out soon. You may want to prepare those who are close to you. I'm so sorry.
Messages sent a few weeks ago to a potential...
I didn't know any of this. Did y'all know this?
Potential witness for the FBI. The text was sent from a burner phone or a made-up number. But here's what's key. The details in that message are the same details John Paul Miller sent to the informant. That woman's past, her darkest secrets are...
Who was that woman? Who was that? Who did they try to dig up all this dirt on?
...only known by a few people in the world. And one of those people was John Paul Miller. The same details in 2 separate messages from 2 different phone numbers. And then this past week at Solid Rock Church, John Paul Miller accidentally reveals something interesting. Remember, John Paul Miller literally turned sprinklers on the protesters.
He's spraying us with the hose. Look at this. No people, no church. No people, no church. No people, no church. He just sprayed them all in the face with the hose.
We'll be out here till you're in handcuffs, buddy. We'll be out here till you're in handcuffs. We'll be out here till you're in handcuffs. That's the bottom line.
Justice for Micah. It feels good. Blood is on your hands. On your hands. Micah's blood is 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 on your hands.
For somebody who is so innocent and didn't do anything wrong, him hearing that Micah's blood is on your hands, and he's just and he just mocks it and he just laughs at it. Like, it's so gross, dude. Like, allegedly, in my opinion, there is no way that he didn't have anything to do with this. Like, you can't pay me, you can't convince me otherwise. I don't care what he puts on social media. I don't care, man. Like, we have not seen him cry. We haven't seen him grieve. We haven't seen him, I mean, grief. Like, no signs of grief at all. At all. All that we've heard of him, like, putting on social media, all that we've heard is how great Micah was when she was with me. But with the Francis family, that's when she needed her medication. It's all, I did this, she loved me, I was the most important person in her life, and trying to get her not to kill herself for the last 3 months. And then she gets...
Entertainment and educational purposes only, TikTok. The overlords hear certain things, they get all crazy as hell.
In the with her family again, and then she does it. It wasn't me. It was... So there's just no grief. There's no, just absolute nothing that looks like he's sad about it. You know, it's actually psychotic.
Micah's blood is on your hands. Micah's blood is on your hands.
But after doing so, he walked away. And people noticed something when he walked away. Take a look. John Paul Miller reaches in his back right pocket, and it looks like he pulls out a phone. Then he puts that phone back and reaches in his back left pocket, and it looks like he pulls out another phone. 2 phones being carried by John Paul Miller. 2 messages with the same details of a woman's past from 2 different phones. Police on multiple levels are investigating the messages, and the FBI now has the information. And they're also investigating Trisha Ross's involvement. Remember, Trisha Ross is the right-hand person for John Paul Miller. If it involves Solid Rock Church and John Paul Miller, Trisha Ross knows about it. She's the one who wrote the check. The question is, did she know that church funds were being used to dig up the sexual lives of women? If so, this could spell big trouble for Trisha Ross.
Okay, now we're going to watch John Paul Miller's Lost Sermon, which is the sermon that Solid Rock deleted off their YouTube and or website, the live streaming of their church services. They deleted it for some reason. Okay, and so they finally found it. Robbie Harvey received it from somebody else who found it, and so now we're going to watch it.
A YouTube channel by the name of Check My Church has obtained the lost sermon of John Paul Miller in Solid Rock Church. This is the sermon that John Paul preached just hours after the death of his wife, Micah. Remember, according to police, Micah Miller took her own life in a North Carolina state park just hours before this sermon. And keep this in mind, John Paul Miller, her husband, has yet to see her body or meet with officials when he takes the stage on Sunday, April the 28th. So let's take a look at this sermon. And keep in mind, like I said, his wife lays in a morgue as he preaches.
John Paul Miller has also said at the pulpit, on stage, to his congregation, whatever I am preaching about is exactly what I'm going through in my life. Whatever.
Oh, that's true. I remember him saying that. Oh, Lord. That is crazy. Now, YouTube, we got almost 300 people watching. Hit the thumbs up. Let's get 300 likes. Hit the subscribe button if you like true crime. My name's Patrick. Same thing on TikTok, y'all. Hit that follow button. I see a whole bunch of new people in there as well. Thanks for joining in, y'all. Thank you for the little Let 'em Cooks. We got 19 left and almost 100,000 likes, TikTok. Thank you so very much. Keep tapping the screen like crazy. Let's get that as well. I love you guys. By the way, TikTok, come over to YouTube if you want to watch the videos with us. You can actually see the video. We're live on YouTube and Rumble. Just search The Mystery Project. That is the name of the YouTube channel, The Mystery Project. Search that on YouTube. Bam. You get all kinds of hooked up. Let's go.
If you want to know the inside of my life, just listen to my sermons because I'm preaching from like that. So I haven't seen this before, so I wonder if you could kind of I don't know. Let's just watch it.
When you feel like holding a grudge, don't do it because it affects others. When you feel like being stingy, don't do it because it affects others. When you feel like, just throwing in the towel and taking the easy way out, don't do it because it affects more than just your life. It affects the people around us.
This part is truly astonishing to hear because remember, John Paul Miller holds
Angie, thank you.
Quite the grudge against his wife, and especially now, her family. Just days before this sermon, John Paul Miller placed tracking devices through a private investigator on his wife's car. John Paul Miller allegedly slashed her tires. John Paul Miller allegedly posted a topless photo of his wife on social media. And now, listen to this.
So, y'all know Al Capone, right? Some of y'all Northerners remind me of Al Capone. Anyway, so Al Capone, he was in charge of the mafia, right? Well, he had a lawyer. His lawyer's name was Easy Eddie, which I wouldn't mind having him as a lawyer. But anyway, Easy Eddie had no integrity. He would do anything to keep Capone out of jail. That
sounds crazy.
Very successful, and he was compensated greatly for his efforts.
Again, truly astonishing that John Paul Miller is even mentioning such a story. Remember, his wife is in a morgue as he tells this story. He has not seen her body.
And as a pastor,
that is crazy. Angie, thank you.
Pastor, to say, I wish I had a lawyer with zero integrity who would do anything and everything to keep me out of. That's not what a Christian man says.
He hasn't met with anybody. He has not met with a single official. And he's not shown throughout this whole sermon any sign of remorse. And he just keeps on going.
In other words, he was making an eternal decision versus an earthly decision. And a lot of our decisions we make nowadays is like, what feels good right now? What can I do now? But some of the decisions you make, you may not see them on earth, that the good things come on earth, but they're eternal decisions.
When saying that, he's fully aware of the decisions that he has made leading up to this sermon. And I think we can all agree, and it's certainly my opinion, that he has made plenty of terrible decisions since the death of his wife.
There are some Christian denominations that I was raised to believe that if you do commit suicide, if you do kill yourself,
entertainment and educational purposes only.
If you kill yourself, you
entertainment and educational purposes
damned
only.
to hell. However, I don't believe that now, just to be clear. But that's how I was raised. The doctrine I was raised under. But there are Christian denominations that do not believe that if you are still saved and you kill yourself,
entertainment and educational purposes only. Lord have mercy. TikTok overlords, they get crazy as hell when they hear this stuff. Whitney Anderson here from TikTok. Shout out. Y'all, just in case, you might as well come over and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You don't know. TikTok, they got them AI robot people, and all of a sudden it's just boom. Oh, man. Live stream ended.
then you're going to go to heaven. So I think this denomination believes that, but the way that he is talking, it's like, this isn't an earthly decision, this is an eternal decision. So I wonder if he even thinks that Micah went to heaven. I don't know.
Part of this sermon. It's as if he's preparing the congregation for what's to come. He plays a voicemail from his grandmother.
John Paul, this is Donna. I just wanted to give you a call and tell you don't you ever give up preaching unless God wants you to. Don't listen to all these mouths that try to come against you. Just trust God for your life and your preaching because you're too good to ever give it up. From what I could hear, you are absolutely wonderful. I just wish I could hear you too, my darling. God loves you, and you just trust Him with whatever is going on. Don't let the devil take anything from you, honey. Stand your ground.
And setting up his congregation continues.
This will really enlighten you, I think. Have you ever heard of the Kennedy curse? Okay, now I'm going to teach you something. This is just from the past 100 years. I could have gone further, but I don't have time in the sermon to do it. But just in the past 100 years, Joseph Kennedy Jr. died in an aircraft explosion. Kathleen Kennedy died in a plane crash. JFK was assassinated. Robert Kennedy was assassinated. Michael Kennedy died in a skiing accident. JFK Jr. died in a plane crash. Ethel Kennedy's parents died in a plane crash. Ted Kennedy accidentally drove his car off of a bridge. Now, let me just tell you, that's just in the past 100 years of this family line. That's not bad luck. That's not a coincidence. That is a spiritual force trying to destroy that bloodline.
My God.
And I hope that you are wise enough to recognize what the enemy is trying to do to destroy your bloodline, so you can be strong and to make the right choice when it comes against you.
That is so insane. Insane that he preaches, which is a little snippets of it, but the subject matter of what he preaches hours after, like what Robbie Harvey said, he hadn't even seen her yet. Like, even if you were separated and even if, you know, you're about to get a divorce, whatever, just like hearing that your used to be partner, I guess, like, just committed like it died in any type of capacity, they die. Like, you would, like, I feel like you would be there like as soon as possible. Like, you wouldn't.
You would think so. Angie, thank you so much. You're so sweet.
Go to work that next day. You wouldn't live your life the same. Like, it's so gross. It's so weird. I hate it. And it's just screaming red flags. So what I'll do now is insert the videos that I took when I went to the protest yesterday. So I'll go ahead and insert those here.
So come watch it, y'all. If you want to see it, it's we're live on YouTube right now. The Mystery Project. Come watch it with us.
Yeah, they were saying that the police said it was going to be over there, but then they made
It's a public sidewalk.
then it would be best for you to do so. But they keep trying to take our rights away. They'll overlook what the church members do. And like JP set his alarms off on his computer intentionally over and over. They never said a word, but they stopped somebody that blew their horn. They were pulling people over to give them tickets if they blew their horn. Wow. Yeah. When the lady came out and grabbed one of the girls' arms, the officer was blaming the protesters for yelling in her ear. She came directly out to us. She said, "This is for you," and grabbed her arm. And she's like, "Don't touch me." And the officer refused to do anything and pretended to act like, what I don't understand.
But they are being paid by JP and Solid Rock.
That guy, I have no idea.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
That was last
but
week.
these police officers are.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. They talked to one of them, I don't know who, and it's not surprising because we felt like through the weeks that the officers were not here unbiased for everybody. Like you had that whole feeling like they're there for the church.
Sure.
Yeah. Which doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Right. But to where's our representation that's taking care of us?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Is JP there right now? Is this Trevor there?
be further down. It looks like Randall's already left, because we saw a black Mercedes. He's already left. JP, I think, is parked down at the end.
Okay.
He's in a blue shirt today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. It's insane that people still go to that church.
Oh,
it's crazy.
They're choosing ignorance.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Thank you for speaking with me. I'm going to cross the street and go over there.
Yeah.
Do y'all mind if I record y'all?
No.
Okay. I just want.
Justice for Micah! 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 Justice for Micah!
Can y'all tell me the difference between being over here and over there? Like, what's going on?
We're not 100% sure. There's an officer that the group has worked with. Supposedly, this is for our protection.
Oh, okay.
They suggested we stay over here, but they cannot force us to stay.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
Justice for Micah!
And these police officers are allegedly paid for by the church.
That's what we understand. We also understand that there's maybe be
an arrest
today after church.
Oh, okay.
Not of the one that everybody.
Sure. Yeah, but of the
Sprinkler guy.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever they call him, sprinkler boy. Yeah, whatever.
Sprinkler boy.
I'm pretty sure he's in.
Justice for Micah!
That's that dude that got caught wet-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Justice for Micah!
Wow.
Justice for Micah!
I think it's
Justice for Micah!
They must be coming. Yep.
Oh,
Justice for Micah!
That's an interesting paint job on that Hummer.
We're just trying to make sure that we cover. I thought he said there was a police.
Justice for Micah! Justice for Micah!
Nicholas, right?
So we're going to go through some of the pictures that Robbie Harvey has put on his Facebook page. So this is the barricades that the police put up for the safety of the protesters. That's the trailer that I was telling y'all that was supposed to, like, I don't know what this proved. Like, I don't know if they were trying to load something up and they just put it in the sidewalk, or it doesn't make sense. But it's kind of like what a child would do, in my opinion, of like, well, I'll just put this right here so you can't see it. But when you're an adult, you're like, hey, freaking jackwagon, I'll just go around it. That's what it seems
jackwagon.
like. And those are the police that were there yesterday. And if you've seen the video that I took from Solid Rock, and those are the same vehicles. So this one right here posted about how real leaders don't go like through the back, because that's JP's vehicle, and he went through the back way so he wouldn't have to go through the protesters. So this video that we're gonna watch, I'll read you the caption here. Robert, the man who sprayed protesters last week, was supposed to be arrested today after church. He has 5 warrants. So this was yesterday. John Paul Miller seemed agitated by this and spent a lot of time with police after church. As a result, officers decided not to put Robert in handcuffs because he's too frail. He hid inside the church well after service was over. Once he finally came out, he left through the back to avoid protesters. According to officers, he will turn himself in the morning.
Okay. And we would do the same for anybody out here if they've done that. And that's sense. So he's going to turn himself in the morning, or we're going to pick him up if he doesn't. And then at that point...
And I'm a 30-year-old woman who is a sexual assault.
I'm going to stop you right there. We did that because he's an 81-year-old man.
You hear that? Because he's an 81-year-old man who has health problems. The guy's 67 years old. These police officers allegedly, in my opinion, they only took what I'm going to say, JP, what they told him at face value and didn't do their own research. And I bet they...
Selena, howdy, ma'am. Thank you. Is that Jesus? Like, we're not going to talk about that? That's Jesus.
They feel dumb. 67. He's 67, not 81.
Had health problems. Compassion is part of it, but at the same time, if something happens in the jail, then we have to sit with him in the hospital. It takes another officer off the street. So he's going to turn himself in tomorrow. If he chooses not to, he's got that choice. Then you pick him up.
Nikki certainly looks like him.
Oh, yeah. So this guy right here, I saw him yesterday. My husband pointed him out. He's been dressing like Jesus. Like, and he was staying there all day long. I'm not sure.
Told you.
I'm not sure, like, if he was but he was just there talking to people, but he's dressing like Jesus. Okay, so here it is. I forgot how to pronounce his stupid last name. He could look 81. That's crazy. He's 67 and he looks 81. That's nuts. Gross. Okay, so Robert Wayne has been arrested. Primary charge, assault, and battery, 3rd degree. That's crazy. But, I mean, obviously, you know, JP's most likely gonna bail him out. So, there was this huge debacle over the tattoos that JP has, and somebody took a picture of him at the beach, because it was the one that says, Micah Miller on his side. And, there's this huge debacle that tattoo was fake because whoever was at the beach took a picture of him and they couldn't find it. So we're gonna watch a video of him being unhinged and saying, "No, I have the tattoo," whatever. So we're gonna watch that as well. Okay, here's the post we saw in part 9 when he was talking about the Micah Miller tattoo. And this post says, "Micah tattoo a fake. Normally it's absolute nonsense to share things like this, and to be honest, I don't like it, but considering the accusations John Paul Miller has thrown towards the Francis family, unfortunately the post is important as it adds another layer in the battle of words and accusations. Miller was spotted at the beach today with no Micah tattoo in sight. 2 weeks ago, Miller addressed accusations made by Michael Francis that he branded Micah with a tattoo of his name on her body. In the video, he lifted his shirt and showed an apparent tattoo of Micah's name on the right rib cage while saying, then what would you say, Michael, about this?" revealing the tattoo. "Today, it appears the tattoo is gone. I've added another pic showing the left side of his body, which, number 1, disgusting. Gross. Let's get it. Wonderful. Okay, so you can't see it. And there's the left side as well. There's the right, can't see. I mean, sure, it's like really under his armpit, it looks like, but I feel like you should be, maybe it's his arm, I don't know. Okay, any hoodle. So now we're going to watch the True Crime with her TikToks that he has posted. And it, like in part 9, he expressed that he is giving his videos to True Crime and she's posting it on her page. So we still don't know whose side she's on. I'm not sure if she's being, not sure if she's being like super, super nice to him, trying to get information out, or she's on like his side. I'm not sure. But whatever the case may be, we're getting information out. So we're going to start with this video here.
Hey, today's video is for all of the people who've been emailing me from around the world, telling me their struggles, personal stories of mental illness, as well as the stories of people whom they love who battle with mental illness. And the same story is throughout every single email, and that is, when you start feeling really, really good, you want to come off your medicine because you think you don't need it. So listen, the reason you feel good is because you're on your medicine. Don't come off your medication. Over the years, my wife was prescribed lithium, Seroquel, olanzapine, and lamotrigine, something like that. But my goal, I had one goal every day of my life for 7 years, and that was to make sure that she took her medicine so that she could enjoy her life and live a very fulfilled, prosperous life like she did when she was with me. Away from me and with her family, she came off of her medicine, lost 40 pounds in a month. And
see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. With me, she was good. With me, she was the best. But when she was with her family, that's when it got bad. I mean, Micah Miller, in the few pictures and videos we've seen, she seemed, you know, healthy looking from the outside, but who's to say that it was a good 40 pounds lost? You know what I mean? Because we don't know what she looked like the whole time that they were together. So maybe she did add on a few, you know, unhealthy pounds, and maybe when she got away from JP, she was no longer like stressed and anxious, and it was good. Maybe so. We don't really know that to be certain, but I mean, 40 pounds is a lot, and if you are naturally thinner, or if you're thinner regardless, 40 pounds, you know, that is, so we don't necessarily know if that was like a healthy and or an unhealthy thing that happened, but that's besides the point. Right here, he's just like, with me, this was good. Like, only with me, but with her family, which I don't believe that absolutely at all. I know I think I've touched on this before, but I was in a very, very abusive relationship at one point in my life, and he took me away from my family, and he did brainwash me to believe that my family was the outside, like was out to get me. So I was all consumed with this man, and to the point where I you know, didn't talk to my family. I didn't have a relationship with them for like 2.5 years, which is heartbreaking. But then once I got out of the relationship, I was like, oh shit. Oh my God. Like this isn't healthy. Like, this isn't healthy at all. Like, this is bad. So it took me getting out. So, I mean, but his mentality was, when she's with me, that's the best. Like, when she's with her family, absolutely not. They don't care about her. They want the worst for her. I want the best for her. It's us against the world kind of mentality. But what he speaks is, it's, I think a lot of us girls, a lot of us women rather, which is so sad to say, but we understand this, which sucks that we can all like bond over this, but it's true. So, yeah.
Did something that I regret she did, something I tried to prevent for the past 3 months. But somehow with her family, she was able to accomplish that. And so a lawyer said something months and months ago. He said, the guilty person is the person who talks the most. So what do you mean? Saying the guilty person in any situation, the guilty one is the one that's always out.
Dude, if my daughter ended up doing this same thing, you could not keep me from speaking. You could not shut me up. If my niece and or my daughters ever did, it would be a cold day in hell before I would stop talking about this. So this logic is flawed, and it's actually stupid. Actually stupid.
They're talking the most. So just look at that person, because Robbie Stinky Harvey is raising money for the person who's responsible for my wife's death. He's raising money for the person who told my wife she didn't need her medicine. She didn't have to take it anymore. Her doctor was wrong. Her husband's abusive for asking her to take her medicine every single night. And what happened was she lost 40 pounds in a month. She purchased something that I tried to stop for 3 months, and she...
Yeah, 40 pounds a month is a lot.
Did something that I tried to stop for years.
But it's also coming from JP, so God knows if that is even true.
And so if you're unmedicinated, like the ones I listed earlier, please, for the sake of your family and friends and loved ones, stay on your medicine unless your doctor tells you otherwise. Not your friends, not your family, your doctor, the one who prescribed the medicine. Please, and God bless.
So now he's being a mental health advocate on social media. Cute.
Hello, Tyler Elizabeth. How are you doing? You asked about when I was sprawled out on the ground on that video from like 10 years ago.
This question and or statement is, I would like to hear him explain what was happening in the video where you were sprawled out in the lawn in front of Allison's, because that right there seems like seems like mental illness.
J-Dub, right?
Which is absolutely true. It is mental illness.
Sir made a video about this in the beginning or a month ago or something. Anyway, that was me after I'd fallen out of a tree. I broke 12 bones, and I was on pain medicine for the first time in my life, like that type of pain medicine, you know. And I just gotten my cast off. I think my body cast had just come off. Everything was body cast. I had all kind of different ways to help me move in life, and just got all up. And I was still on pain medicine, and I took a little bit too many pain meds that day, and yeah, it was a bad day, but that's that.
Okay, so I just looked up, I just Googled like JP Miller, 12 Broken Bones, JP Miller body cast. Absolutely nothing. The only thing that comes up are people talking about it on TikTok. There is absolutely zero proof, anything to back that up. That is actually freaking crazy.
Okay, first of all, whoever took that picture of me on the beach, you gotta let me know ahead of time, man, because I wasn't sucking in my gut. So that's really, really embarrassing. And like 2 years ago, I was in much better shape, okay? But the tattoo is not fake. I got it, I think it was November of last year. And I'll show you. I was just, oh, I don't know what side it's on.
How? I don't know if y'all have, okay, so I have tattoos. Duh. I have never one time got confused as to which side my tattoos are. Ever. Ever. And I've had tattoos for a while now. 12 years, to be exact. 12 years I've had tattoos. Never one time have I been like, oh, my side piece is over. Oh, wait, no. It's on this side. That's weird. That's freaking weird.
There it is. My gosh. People, y'all are crazy. I'm serious. Y'all are idiots. I'm going to show you again, okay? Because these are the same shorts I had on the beach. I just got home, right? I was working a little bit, and then I went to the beach, and there it is. I'm going to try to rub it off. See, it won't rub off because it's real. I got it at Tiki Tattoo on Seaboard Street, and I even put a bunch of cream on there to numb it so it wouldn't hurt.
Oh, God, he does look like the kind of person that would put cream so that it doesn't hurt.
Well, that's really embarrassing that he had to do that for that little baby thing, which is so crazy. I know we've talked about this before, but he, even at her funeral, her celebration of life, whatever you want to call it, he was like, oh, she wanted me to get a tattoo so badly, but tattoos hurt and I don't like pain. But he has on his fingers, he has scripture verses on his arm, like he has tattoos. If you don't like tattoos because it hurts so bad, why are you getting, I mean, he doesn't have a sleeve, but like he has tattoos. That's like me saying I don't like tattoos because it hurts. Do they hurt? Yeah, but I'm still gonna get like, doesn't make sense.
And whatever idiot said it's fake because of the pictures they saw of me on the beach, they didn't show the right side. They showed the other side.
No, they showed both sides. It was just your arm, you freaking gremlin. Your arm was there. They literally have two pictures.
He called him a gremlin.
Of the right side and then the left side when you were laying down. So dumb.
Side, I think, is how you say it.
Oh, Lord. Oh, brighty little me. Patrick, how would he cry getting a tattoo again? I imagine it would sound something like this. I don't know, though. Allegedly, because I ain't these people. I don't know these people.
Anyway, man, y'all are so funny. Why in the world would you? I don't understand why you think I'd lie about anything with all this. Why in the world would I?
Why does his voice keep going to a high register? Isn't that weird?
Make a fake tattoo and put it on there.
Remember.
Why is he screaming like that?
His ex-wife filed to have complete custody of her children, that JP would no longer be allowed to see the children, and his dad, Wayne Miller, to no longer see them as well. This is absolutely hinged behavior. This is not real behavior of a father who can't see his children. Like, I wouldn't be talking to anybody else. Like, you'd be freaking heartbroken. And
damn. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button real quick. We got 270. 30 more likes, y'all. We get to 300, and we got over 300 people watching. So everybody watching right now, hit the like button on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. TikTok, do the same thing. Tap the screen like crazy. Let's get 125,000 likes. Hit me with 3 more of those little eye things. 3 more of that. I appreciate the love and the support. Hey, baby. Hey, Montreal. What are you doing? Oh, Montreal wants to say hi, everyone. Say hi, baby girl. Say hi. No? You just want to stay quiet? Meow. Oh, just the winks. Okay. There you go. But yeah, do all the things, y'all. do all the things.
Trying to get your kid, like filing whatever you'd file to continue to have 50-50 over your children. You are doing anything and everything you can to keep seeing your children. There's nothing. There's nothing. His name is freaking ruined. Absolutely ruined. He can't see his kids, and he's making videos about, oh, I was in better shape 2 years ago, and who's ever making pictures of this tattoo, it is real, I'm gonna prove it. This is the only thing he's tried to prove over this whole, and it has to do with him, not Micah.
I tell y'all it's real.
All right, Melanie, thank you for that. Very sweet.
I just don't get y'all. I just don't get y'all. I don't. I'm telling you. And again, the gut was just a mean thing to do. Hey, seriously, I cannot get over how offended I am that somebody took my picture.
He can't get over how offended he is over the complete unflattering picture, but he's not that offended that he's being accused of having to do with his soon-to-be ex-wife's death. And he's not too offended that he doesn't have custody over his children because his ex-wife is trying to protect her kids and not want the biological father in their lives. He's not offended about that. It's the picture that was unflattering.
My gut was hanging out. Okay, normally when I see the cameras, I suck in really good. So, you dodos, I can't believe y'all think that tattoo's fake. She begged me for years to get that. Years! And I didn't like pain. I didn't like tattoos. And then finally, I did it. And, why would y'all think that'd be? Why would I get a fake tattoo? Oh my gosh. Crazy.
Oh, God. What the hell did I just watch? Are you kidding me? What the hell was that? Can I fast forward?
And what kind of a pathetic person wants to take a picture of me out on the beach and then spend their social media energy saying I have a fake tattoo that wasn't there. Like, you need a job. Like, you need a life. You need to find somebody that loves you, somebody that can spend their life with you, and y'all can, like, go out and go to the movies and go on dates. They need to go to church. Okay, I don't think you're satisfied. So, got wipes, right? Get a wipe, trying to avoid the whole...
Dude, I feel so bad for his children. How embarrassing. How absolutely embarrassing is this for his kids, which I'm really, really glad that we don't even know what the kids look like. That's wonderful. Or like even their names. That's great. I hope that continues. But how sad that, I mean, everybody around the area probably knows that he's a pastor, knows the kids, so they see this on the internet. God, that's so sad.
Gut picture, because nobody wants to see that. Nobody. You ready? So these won't wipe off. Look, oh, and they're still there. Oh. Right, that's my, anyway. And so all of them, right? Me and Mike had that one was a matching one too.
Yeah, he hated tattoos that much because they were super painful, but look at my whole arm.
You ready? Ready? It's, wait. It's still there. Oh my God. It's still there. Wait, oh, super hard. Still there, buddy.
When did all this come out? Because I never saw any of this. Thankfully.
And if Rob
now I have to.
Harvey needs to see it in person, I'll show him. Okay, I've had a chance to calm down, and I need to apologize. So the person that said that the tattoo was fake, and the person that said that I was a pathological liar. I'm sorry for getting mad at you. I'm sorry. You're not stupid. You're not dumb. You're not ignorant. You're not a moron. I can't think of anything else I said. Maybe I just had those thoughts in my head. But just so you know, the tattoo is still there. Look, it's still there. I'm outside of our porch. It is still there.
Dude, it's so gross. It's so gross. So, okay. One more video of JP, and this is very, very interesting because It's the only thing that he's like said kind of about Micah, but it's in relation to money. And just let's watch it. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, this is the one we just saw.
Hey y'all, I was just sitting here looking at some pictures and videos, of course, of my wife, and couldn't help but come across all the ones that have to do with the mission trips that we went on. I'm not a missionary. I don't like missions trips. I'm a teacher. I like to stay home and teach, but she loved the mission trips, and especially...
That is such a weird thing for a pastor to say. I don't like missions. I do not like missions trips. That's so weird to me.
When she went to Africa last year, when she came back, I picked her up at the airport, and she was overwhelmed with joy. And she came back, she said she wanted to start a school, a Faith First Academy in Africa. And I said, Micah, you can't do that. I said, that's not possible. We don't have the money. We don't have the resources. We don't have the teachers, the curriculum, the location, the place. We don't have it all. Well, that was kind of a challenge for her. And so for the next month...
and that was also a douche thing to say to your wife who wanted to help children. No, we can't do that. We don't have enough money. I have assets in a bar, but you can't help children in Africa. Okay.
And the way when you communicate with Africa, they're in a completely different time, of course. And so when you send them a message, you don't get a response to the next day, and then you send it and the next day. And about a month later, she brought me a notebook. She had the teachers, the location. She even had the lunch lady, someone who was going to bring these children food. And she brought me everything we needed. And she got it down to about $500 a child per year. And then I'm the good guy that's good with financial stuff. And so I was able to get it down to $300.
Are ya? Are you super good with financial stuff? And that's why the FBI is literally investigating the financials of JP Miller and Solid Rock because you're super good with finances. You're a fucking idiot.
For a year for a child to go.
Jesus, entertainment, educational purposes only. YouTube. Oh my God.
School there, and that includes the food that they get each day. And so we sent a team at the beginning of this year, and we were expecting about 75, maybe 80 kids. The first day we had 150. By the end of the week, we had 300. And now we have about 350 children begging and pleading for us to start our school back in August of this year. And so in honor of Micah, we're doing it. It's her mission. She came up with it. She started it. She did all the work. She prepared the way. She laid the foundation. And so we are sending a team, and we're praying to God that we have enough of what we need to be able to feed the 300 and something kids, curriculum provided, teachers trained, and everything. And we're really, really excited. So that's something we have to look forward to. We'll send you pictures when it comes out. And if you go to dare2caremissions.com, you'll see our website, and that's where Micah.
Does he only own like superhero shirts?
Started, of course. And so if you love Micah, you got to love the people of Jabrok, because that was her big thing that she enjoyed so much. Thanks.
I just cannot get out of my brain when he just talks about, I mean, being a pastor, regardless, like anything that he says on the pulpit, anything that he says about God, about missions, about, all I can think about is him being 25 years old when she would, wait, was it 25 or 35? I don't remember. They're 14 years apart, right? If I remember correctly. She was 14 years old, and he was a grown-ass man. Grown-ass man. And when she was 18, like, they had, like, I cannot get out of my head that he had an affair with the nanny, you know, who was Micah. They had an affair, caused a divorce, then they got married. Like, but he's still a pastor. In what freaking world? In what world are you still pastoring a church when you are getting a divorce from your wife because of infidelity? That doesn't happen, dude.
This world
was another, not a case, but another situation at a different church that I had talked about a few months ago. And it was this pastor who was getting a little friendly. It didn't go to cheating, but they were talking on a daily basis. Another woman of the congregation, as the pastor, he's married, she's married, but they were speaking on a daily basis and hiding messages from their spouses and never got sexual. But even to that extent, he stepped down from being a pastor of that church, and he told his whole congregation what was going on. There was no cheating. It wasn't like sex, but it could have gone that far. It was more emotional, but he stepped down from that. Obviously, that's still not good, but But this happens and he's still pastoring the church. Like, the congregation of Solid Rock are the most brainwashed, ignorant people I have ever freaking come across. There is...
Damn.
I just don't have words for it. It's bananas. But I don't think JP realizes that 99% of people want to see him go to prison. They want to see him... I mean, justice for Micah. That's what it is. He doesn't understand that justice for Micah doesn't...
Thank you, Maria.
Like, having justice for Micah doesn't end without him being behind bars and him having it be him getting arrested and reaping what he has sown. That's justice for Micah. Justice for Micah isn't, oh, well, we're going to get justice for Micah. I do believe it. You know, it was the Francis family. That's not what justice for Micah means, sir. Justice for Micah means you reap what you have sown. Because it is clear.
Oh, thank you, Angie.
Clear to see that there has not been any consequences to his actions for many, many, many years.
Oh my word. Y'all. That was a lot. That was a long video. We've been live for almost 3 hours. Holy hell. YouTube, do me a favor. We got 15 likes to hit 300. This is the end of the live stream for YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Do me a favor, everybody watching, just hit the thumbs up. We hit the thumbs up. We should be over 300 likes right now. Go leave a comment when the video ends. I love you guys. Happy Friday. Go have a good weekend. I'll be back tomorrow night right here on YouTube, The Mystery Project, Rumble, The Mystery Project, TikTok, The Haunted Side. Welcome back. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm tired. Good night, YouTube. I love you guys. Be safe. Justice for Micah. And I'll see you guys on the next one.